Hey there guys, I'm Robbie and I'm making videos for The Sims 3 on how to do things in The Sims 3. This video is going to focus on the writing skill and how to maximize your writing skill, and also some other things that you can do with the writing skill in order to make money doing writing and have a career in doing writing. The first thing that you need to know about writing in The Sims 3 is it's not like a lot of the other skills in The Sims 3 where you can read a book to learn writing. Whereas some of the other skills, they have a skill book you can read to start learning that specific skill. With the writing skill in The Sims 3, you'll start it with a computer. I've got a sim already created. I've named him John Doe for the purpose of the video. And I've got an empty lot with just a computer on a desk with a chair so I can start using the computer. So what I will do is start out down here at the bottom. I have my skills tab brought up showing what skills that this sim has, which as you can see I only have the logic skill right now. And a note on the logic skill and writing. The logic skill can also help with your writing skill and help you to write better books possibly. But we'll continue on with learning the writing skill specifically right now and what you can do with it. So I'll click on the computer and you'll see that you have the writing option in the menu that pops up, and we'll click that, and you have three options here. We can start a fiction novel, we can start a non-fiction novel, or you can practice writing. What I'm going to go ahead and do is start with practice writing, and I'll unpause the game. And we'll watch what my sim does with the practice writing. As I zoom in and he starts working on the computer with practice and writing, you can see that there's a meter that popped up above his head showing that the writing skill is increasing. And as I showed you down here below, there's no skills other than the logic skill. And once that meter fills up, it will pop up down here in the skills tab with a writing skill, and it will accompany the logic skill so that the logic skill won't be my only skill down there for this sim. I'll speed the game up a little bit so we'll go through the progress quicker. And that bar has filled up and went on to start another bar. And down here at the bottom, we see that another skill has appeared, and I am at level 1 on writing. And right here to the right of that bar down here, it says you got a skill journal, and we'll go ahead and go into that skill journal. I'll open it up, and you can do that by clicking this button here to the right, or you could hit the J button to open the skill journal up, and that will open up a new window for the skills that John Doe has. And you'll see up here at the top it has the logic skill, which shows down here at the bottom also. But this one that we're talking about, the writing skill, it has shown up here as well. And it'll give you a description of what the writing skill is about, and then below that description you see statistics. This sim has read 3 books because I've used it in other videos before to help with learning skills and how to maximize them. And those books that it's talking about could be the skill books or a recipe book or any kind of book that you may have happened to have read with that sim. And right below that you have a current book completion, which is how many books this sim has written. And you can see that this is at 0% since I haven't written any books. I'm not writing one now. And let me correct myself on that. It's talking about books that I've written. That's actually referring to the current book I am writing. And since I'm not writing a book right now, it's sitting at 0%. The next one is how many books I've completed. I kind of got ahead of myself there. And then the next one is scrapped writings. How many books you started writing and wound up throwing it out or something like that, or decided you didn't like it and wanted to just cancel the writing and you just scrapped the writing altogether. And the next one shows how many pages you've written. And the next one is flops. How many books you've written that didn't pan out to do anything, make you any money, or they didn't sell as good as you thought you were hoping they would. And the next one is hits. How many books were number one sellers or sold quite a few copies of it and you've made quite a bit of money on them. And how many bestsellers you've had. Most experienced genre happens to refer to like if you're writing a children's book or a cooking book or a suspense book or romance, is meaning how many books you've written that are in a specific genre. And say you've done 4 cooking books and you've done 7 children's books, your most experienced genre out of those options would be the children's book because you've done 7, whereas if you did 4 cooking. Your most profitable book, meaning pretty much self-explanatory, what book you've written that's made the most money for you, how much money you've made from writing, and how much money you're getting each week from your writings. And a note on that, after you complete a book and publish it, it will usually give you royalties for 6 weeks. You'll get so much money, so much simoleons each week, and that's what that's referring to. It'll tell you how much you're getting each week, and you'll get your money each week on Sunday, and it's around noon in sim time. And if you scroll down below the statistics, you'll see the challenges for the writing skill. We have a speed writer. Their speed writers are so good they've earned at least $30,000 in royalties, and they write faster than normal writers would. A prolific writer. The prolific writers, they've written at least 200 books in their career, and they're so known that they tend to write more hits and bestsellers than other people that are writing. Then you have a specialist writer. A writer must write at least 5 novels in a specific genre to be known as a specialist for that genre. Like I was mentioning, the cooking, the children's, suspense, romance, Such specialists write far more hits and bestsellers in that particular genre than other writers in that genre. And if you scroll down further, you'll see that there's an option down here with a drop down menu if you click it. Available genres. You have fiction, non-fiction, and science fiction. And it also says how many pages are normally in each of those different topics and how much you can expect to earn in royalties each week. And this available genres is going according to what my skill level is in writing. As you can see, those are the only 3 topics or genres that are available to me right now, since I'm only, as you see up here at the top, a level 1 in the writing skill. And the expected royalties here, you see it's showing just one simoleon symbol. If it shows more simoleon symbols, you can expect to earn more simoleons off of that specific genre if you write in that genre. And to the side of that, it tells you how many books you've written in that genre that's available to you. So we'll click that arrow up here to bring down that drop down menu, and we'll select written books. And since I'm just starting the writing skill here and I haven't started writing any books, you can see that I have no titles listed. So I'll close this out, and up here in the top right corner, you see after completing that one bar in the meter, 10 words, move another sim to cry, to laugh, is given a description of the writing skill. I've begun the literary path, and it's telling that I've started learning the writing skill. And up here up top, I'll click this right arrow, and shows that there's another notice about the writing skill. I just grasped the basics of writing, and that's stuff that goes into your memory type collection down here at the bottom in the Simology, I believe it is, in the scrapbook, and it's in the memories already. I went to the library, learned logic, level 5 logic. Right here you see that it shows that I've learned the writing skill. Went to the bookstore, took a logic class. So we'll close that out, and I will unpause the game to let it continue working on the writing skill. Go back to the skills tab. And that meter filled up again, and you can see I'm now level 2 in writing. And we notice up in the top right corner here that there's now 3 notices. We'll see what this new one is, and it tells that I've improved to level 2 on my writing. And we'll go to the skill journal again, and we'll see down here at the bottom below the challenges, there is now a new genre that I can write in. And close that out. We'll continue on learning the writing skill. As you can see, it's still increasing the writing skill above my head here. And that meter filled up a 3rd time. I'll pause the game. In the top right corner, you see that it says I've got to level 3 in writing. And it shows that I now understand how to write drama novels. And we'll open up the skill journal again and scroll down to the bottom, and we'll see that the available genres now include drama and sports. And as you can see in this expected royalties, the drama genre has 2 simoleon symbols. So you can expect to get paid a little more per week from writing a book in that genre. And then the sports genre has 3 simoleons. So it will pay more per week than the drama will. And that's at level 3. I'll close that out, and while the game is still paused, I'm going to open up the world map by hitting the M button and show you that there is another option for writing. If you go and look around on the world map for whichever world you might be playing in, there is a business building right here. I believe it is business and journalism. Yes, it is. You have the option to attend a writing class, which this one will cost 400 simoleons, that will help increase your writing skill. So I will go ahead and do that, and go up here to the top and cancel the practice writing out, and I'll right click on my avatar down here for my sim to zoom in on my sim, and at the same time, once I unpause the game, we'll follow my sim. That way we can go with him and see what he's doing. At least until you scroll to the edge of the screen or move around with the arrow keys to take the center focus off of your sim. But you can always zoom back in and follow him by right clicking on your sim again. And we are traveling to that business complex to attend the writing class. And as you can see, I've learned a little bit in level 3 on writing. And we'll keep an eye on that and show you what the writing class will do to that level. You can see that I'm going to the writing class up here in the top left corner. It indicates in the action queue. And I paid out the 400 simoleons to attend it. You pay for that before you start the class. And you see that the meter for the class is increasing there, progressing. And if I hover down here over the writing skill, periodically checking that as the progress of the class continues, and I'll speed the game up just a little bit. And now the writing class is completed. And if I hover over the writing skill down here, that writing class was enough to bump me up to level 4 on the writing skill, which it indicates up here in the top right corner. And if we click that arrow to go to the newer message, it says that I decided to enrich my knowledge of writing and took a class, and saying I won't forget it anytime soon. And after that, I will go ahead and open the skill journal back up and scroll down to the bottom here again, and we will see that now there is a horror genre available to write in, and it pays pretty much the same amount per week as the drama topic would. We'll close that out, and I will show you something else you could do too. If you say you go and get your sim created, get it moved into an empty lot, and just want to happen to jump right into writing and not buy anything, you could go to the world map. This is probably the easiest way to do it. And I usually move around and look for the picture of the book right here for the public library. And I will click on visit the library and then zoom back to my sim and unpause the game, and I will travel to the library. And this is just an option you can do if you want to get right into the writing skill before you even start building a house and buying stuff. You don't have to go to the library to do this, but it's just what I happen to do. Most of the libraries, no matter what world you happen to be playing in, usually have a computer in them. And you're able to do the writing skill at that computer. And you can click on that computer and go to writing, and you'll see that it has all the same options that are available to you that it shows in the skill journal. You could, if you didn't want to go to the library, check around to some neighboring houses that people are living in, like go visit them or something like that and get in their house and check around to see if they have a computer, and you can do the same thing. But I just say jump to the library because you're pretty much guaranteed to find a computer in the library. So what I will do is I'll close this out real quick, open up the skill journal, and scroll down to the bottom to see the available genres for my level 4, and I will look at which one pays the least amount per week, what you can expect to get, and look at how their average length is. And I'm going to go ahead and, just for the purpose of the video, select one that won't take very long to write. As we can see, the fiction is 90 pages long normally, and the non-fiction is 90 pages long normally. So close the skill journal out, go back to the computer, writing, and I will start writing a non-fiction book. And I will unpause the game in fast speed, and it gives us the option to name the book before we start writing it. I'm going to leave it where it's at and hit the check mark. You can name it whatever you want. And once the writing starts, you see that a little progress meter pops up above my head, showing how far I've progressed in writing that particular book. And you just saw a +8 float up across the screen there, indicating probably that you're earning $8 or 8 simoleons for what you've written so far. And there's another 8 simoleons since I've written a little bit more. what I'm going to do now, go back to regular speed on the game, and I'm going to cancel this writing, what I'm doing right now, and you'll see that that progress bar is filling up to what I've written so far. Pause the game and hover over the skill down here for writing, and you'll see that my level 4 has increased somewhat closer to level 5 for the amount of that book that I have written. And I will open the skill journal and show you in the statistics that it now shows current book completion at 56%. So that book that I was just writing and I canceled writing it, it's keeping that I've written 56% of that book so far. And down here it shows that I've made 16 simoleons from writing so far, as you've seen the 2 times that the 8 floated up across the screen. And also in here it shows how many pages of that book I have written so far, although that means how many pages I've written total out of all the books I've written, but since that's the first book I've done, that's all it's going to count. So I'll close that skill journal out and go back to the computer and click on it and select writing, and here you'll see what I was talking about in that skill journal. It said how many you have scrapped. I have the option to scrap that book I was writing on, or I could continue writing that book. I will continue writing that book and unpause the game in fast speed, and we will continue writing that book to complete it. And go up here to the top right, we'll see that we have new messages. We'll scroll through them, and it's indicating stuff about the writing skill so far. And we'll see that that progress bar is now completed and done. I'll pause that game, and if you've seen that 51 floating up, I believe it was, we'll scroll through the messages here. I have hit level 5 on writing. Due to writing that book, it helped hit level 5. And it gives a little more information about the writing skill for hitting level 5. The next message saying that I finished writing the book, a non-fiction book. And down here at the bottom of that message, it indicates that I'm going to receive 6 royalty payments of 51 simoleons. And those payments will be received on Sunday at noon. Those payments will be automatically made to you every Sunday at noon for 6 Sundays. You don't even have to mess with checking the mail at your mailbox or anything like that. It'll automatically just pop into you. The next message. I wrote my first novel, and I'm not going to forget it. That's something that pops into your memory section down here in your scrapbook. Level 5 of writing, I've got a memory for that. Wrote my first novel. So we'll close that out. This next message, telling that I hit level 5 of writing. So we'll collapse that out. And go back to the skills tab. Well, actually I will check this, the inventory. Okay, the inventory was a little early right now. Go back to the skills tab, and I will open the skill journal. And as you can see, I'm still on the writing skill in the skill journal. And you see that the current book completion is now 0% because the book that I was writing is now complete. And it shows that I've completed one book. And scrap 0 writing since I chose to continue writing that book. And as you can see here, the pages written is 83. Since that's the only book I've written so far, that means that that book is 83 pages long. My most experienced genre is nonfiction. Since that's the only book I've written and it was a nonfiction book, that's going to be the most experienced genre that I've written in. And it will tell your most profitable book is the one that I just wrote, since it's the only one I've written, and it tells how much I've got per week from that book. And it shows down here the money earned writing that I've made a total of 83 simoleons so far. And right here, my current weekly royalties, I'm going to be getting 51 simoleons for 6 weeks. And since I leveled up to level 5 in writing, scroll down to the available genres, and it appears, here we go, it added a new genre for me to write in of humor, which pays about the same amount as drama and horror. And as you can see in the nonfiction, it shows that I have written one book in that topic. I'll close that out and click the button right here on my sim to go home, then right click on me, and we'll go back to the house, and we are going to wait for a little bit. He's going to go to the computer on his own and chat with someone, but here in a little bit I have a bill here. I'll go ahead and take care of that. But here in a little while, the mail should run, and in that, it should drop off a copy of the book that I just wrote, so I have a copy for myself. And I'm going to let John do his own little thing until the mail appears. And mention down below in the description of the video, I have a bunch of links in there if you happen to want to get more copies of, or more expansion packs and stuff packs for The Sims 3, or happen to want to get started in The Sims 3. You can also get the game, the base game, with a bundle from Amazon, and by clicking the links that I have in the description down below. And I should also mention that those are for the computer, not for the console like Xbox or the PlayStation or vice versa. I'll speed the game up a little bit. As you can see down here in the bottom, it's showing what time it is in the game. I'm not quite sure what time the mail runs in the game. And also, if this video is helping you at all with The Sims and giving you information that you haven't actually known about or anything like that, hit that subscribe button. There should be a little icon in the bottom right corner of the video for you to subscribe. And there, as you can see, I paused the game, the mailman has appeared. And I'll go back to regular speed on the game and let the mailman go away. And I will click on the mailbox, and I have the option to get mail. And I'll go to the inventory down at the bottom, picture of the backpack, or you could hit the I button, whichever you prefer. Pause the game after the mail has been collected, and a menu notice up in the top right corner indicating I have gotten a copy of the book that I just wrote. Check my inventory, and down here in the inventory, as you can see, there's a copy of the book that I just wrote. And if you click on it, I have the option to read it. I will go ahead and read that, and I will show you something due to reading the book, even though it's a book I wrote. And a progress meter showing how much of the book I've read so far. We'll speed up a little bit. That bar is gone, meaning that I've read the complete book. And I'll go back to the skill tab and open the skill journal, and you'll see in the statistics that it now says I've read 4 books. So that indicates that it counts any book that I might happen to read, whether it's a book that I wrote or a skill book. And with the mention in there at the bottom down here, the expected royalties, I mentioned earlier that this could turn into a really good career for your sim. In order to do that, I will go to the main world map and find City Hall on the main map, which is normally around the center of the world. Normally. There it is, right there. 3 buildings in one, Public Services Office. You click on that, see that City Hall is here. And you'll see, after clicking City Hall, you can register as self-employed. And since I have gained a level 5 in writing, I have the option to register as a self-employed writer. I will do that, and then right-click on my sim to zoom in and follow him, and unpause the game. And what he's going to do is go to City Hall and register to be a self-employed writer. And I'll show you, I'll pause the game real quick and go to the picture down here at the bottom of a person sitting at a desk. And now it's going to pop up showing career. I don't know why it didn't do it a second ago. And it'll show that I'm unemployed. And right here it says career on the left. And the career history listing all the careers you've had your entire life of the sim. And since this is all he's done, that I've done with the sim, it automatically says that I graduated from high school. And there's a option right below the career history showing what degrees you've earned. Since I haven't earned any degrees with this sim yet, it doesn't give me the option to select it. So I'll go back to the career and unpause the game again. And he goes to City Hall, and a pop-up appears for writer, and it tells you what your responsibilities for this career are. Earn money by selling novels you've written, and asks you if you want to register as self-employed. I'll go ahead and select yes. And he walks out of City Hall, and I'll pause the game. And up in the top right corner where the notices, you see that it's talking about many imagine the romance of a career in writing, but few can bear the isolation and discipline it takes to be great. Telling more about your selection as being registered as a writer. And the next notice indicates you've become self-employed. And the next one tells you that you've joined the writing career. Down here in the career tab, you are now listed as not unemployed, you're a fan fiction drafter. And it shows that your career is a writer, and it tells you below that how much money you've earned since you've registered as self-employed writer. And below that, you have options of becoming promoted in this career, and it will tell you that it'll show you that you need to earn how to earn that promotion. You have to make 75 simoleons before you get promoted to the next level of the writing career. And it tells below that what hours you're supposed to work. Since you're self-employed, you pretty much work whenever you want to. And to the right of that, it shows what your responsibilities as a self-employed writer are. And then below that, it shows how much experience you've got in that writing career since you started that career. So what we will do is I will go back to home and pause the game real quick, and I will click on the computer and select writing. And now that I've written a book, I have the option to purchase a written book. But there's really no point in doing that. That's really an option you get if you have more than one person in the house or something like that, I believe. They get the option to buy the book that someone else has written that lives in the same house, I believe. But what I'm going to do, showing you that, close that out, go back to the skills tab, open the skill journal. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and what I'm going to do, if you remember, it said you needed to earn 75 simoleons at least to get to the next promotion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a topic down here that pays real high each week. As we can see, the sports topic has 3 simoleon symbols showing, so I will select it as it shows the most. Go back to the computer, writing, and I will start a sports book. and I'll hit the button to unpause the game and have it in fast speed. I apologize for the saving here. I had it set on auto save. But you can also take this chance while it's doing this. Hit that subscribe button if this video is helping me out. And check out my other videos that I have also. They help you with other skills in The Sims 3. And now it pops up after it finished saving with you to name the book. I'm going to leave it like it is. And since that book pays more and it is a longer book, it will take longer to write it. As you can see, the progress meter above my head is moving slower than it was with the first book, even in fast speed in the game. And we'll see that we just made $12 on that. Going back to the career tab, you'll see that my job experience has increased, and the amount of funds I need to make to get my promotion is less now because of that $12. And I have now earned $24 total since starting the career in writing. Since a second $12 floated up. And there's another $12. And my job experience is almost half full down here at the bottom. And what that responsibility is above the job experience is referring to is what you need to do to get promoted. And as you can see, that's what I'm needing to do to get promoted, is to make so much money. And now that book is complete. I'll go back to regular speed and let that finish and pause the game. And you will see up here in the top right on the notices, the messages, there's new messages. We'll scroll through it, indicating that I'm earning $12 ever so often. Submitted so many chapters of the book that I was just writing. And this message indicates that I'm now a level 6 in writing. We'll go to the skills tab and we'll see that it shows that I'm now level 6 after completing that book. And I'll open the skill journal and it now says 2 books are completed. And pages written, instead of 83 from before, it adds the amount from that book I just finished, my second book, to what I wrote in the first book, for a total of 210. And it indicates that I have 1 hit on my books. And my most experienced genre is now sports. Since that book earns more money and it took longer to write it and it has more pages, it replaced the non-fiction genre. And that is also my most profitable book now, because it earns 482 simoleons per week. And it shows below that I have now earned 613 simoleons total from writing. And I am now getting 533 simoleons a week from royalties. It will take what I was getting from my first book, since I am still within the 6 weeks of that book, and add it to what I'm going to get from this second book of 482 per week. scrolling down below the challenges, since I am now a level 6 in writing, it appears that I did not get another topic to write in yet. But you see down here, it shows in the sports topic, I now have a book written in that one, as well as nonfiction. So I'll close that out and go back to the messages up here and continue through those, showing that that book was 127 pages. And I'm going to get 482 simoleons a week for 6 weeks on that book, plus what I'm going to get from the first book, my nonfiction book. And down here at the bottom, as you can see, it indicates that it is Wednesday, and the messages show that that payment will come at Sunday. So the next message, I've earned a new title in recognition of my valuable contributions to the workforce. Go back to the career tab, down here at the bottom. This next message indicates the newest title I was given. And as you can see, that is what my title is for my career. Since I'm a writer, I have jumped, as you can see, 2 levels from that book in my career and wound up being a tabloid typist. If you recall before, when I hovered over that, it showed writer 1, which is level 1 of the writing career. And it shows that I have earned 530 simoleons so far in the writing career. And you see that how many simoleons I need now to get to the next promotion, which is now 945. And you see that the job experience has reset due to getting a new title or level in the writing career. The level in the writing career is separate from the level in the writing skill. So next, I will go back to the writing on the computer, and I will select to write a humor novel. We'll put it in regular speed for a minute on the game. This will give us time to work on the book, give it the name that it's showing here. As you can see down here at the bottom, it's showing 7:20 in the evening, and we're going to wait while he's writing this book and let the book continue to progress that he's writing until the mail runs the next morning. Put it in fast speed for a moment. And if you remember in the skill journal, the humor topic is 2 simoleon symbols, expected royalties. The average length is 345 pages. So this book will take a little longer to write, but make less money than the sports topic. We'll close that out. I show you that because, as you can see, the progress meter above my head, even at fast speed in the game, is going slower because it averages more pages in that type of book. And a note on that writing career level, you'll go through 10 levels in the writing career. Well, actually all careers pretty much, as long as you accomplish what your responsibilities are and what you're supposed to do to get the promotion. And once you hit level 10 on the writing career, there are certain levels that will give you a bonus for hitting that level in the career. The level 10 will give you a 5,000 simoleon bonus. And something else with the writing career or writing skill, you can even have toddlers learn their intro writing skills just by reading to them, or them possibly reading certain books that you can buy at the bookstore, or take them to the library and they can read that, or you can read it to them. The 3 books include Bluish Eggs with a Side of Pastrami. Another one is Frank, I'm Not. And the other one is Oh, the Destinations You'll Briefly Visit. And those 3 books will help a toddler get introduced into the writing skill and help them begin learning the writing skill and increasing it. So you can start learning the writing skill as early as being a toddler. As you can see, the progress meter is almost full for that book. This is the 3rd book that this sim has written. I'll go to the skills tab momentarily and wait here while that progress meter fills up the rest of the way. And that progress meter is full and completed and gone, so the book is now completed. And down here in the skills tab, if you recall, I was a level 6 in writing the skill. I am now a level 7, almost to level 8. And I'm going to open up the skill journal, and it will show in the statistics that I have completed 3 books now. And I have written a total of 536 pages, and it shows that the most experienced genre is still sports, since my sports book was worth more simoleons than this humor book was. And it also tells the name of the most profitable book, which is my sports book, because it is worth more per week. And now my money earned so far in writing is 1,081 simoleons. And it shows that how much I'm going to get per week now is 873 simoleons. It's combining the amount for all 3 books. And I'll get that much each Sunday at noon for 6 Sundays. can scroll down here at the bottom and you'll see that I now can write poetry, which pays a pretty good amount per week, but it is also an average length of 400 pages per book. We'll close that out and go in regular speed. Click on the mailbox and get mail. Go to the inventory. Pause the game. And we will see down in the inventory that I now have a copy of my sports book that I wrote, as well as a bill. I'll go ahead and pay the bills. And if you remember, I just wrote that humor book, but it was not completed by the time the mail ran today, so I won't get a copy of it until the next day. And we'll go back over here to the career tab and see that it indicates I have earned almost 1,000 simoleons in this writing career since I've started it. And I now only need 477 simoleons to get my promotion. And I'm almost halfway through my experience bar for my writing career to get my promotion. And up here in the top tells you that you got a copy of your book you just wrote. And like I said, the humor book will come on Friday, since I completed it after the mail ran on Thursday. So I hope that you have ideas of what you can do with the writing skill and become a very profitable, well-to-do sim just from writing. And you can do it before you even start building your own house on your own lot, right after you create your own sim, just by going to the library or finding a business that has a computer or a neighbor that has a computer. You don't even have to have your own computer. And speaking of computers, if you so happen to want to do this, I'll open up the buy mode here, and I've selected sort by function, and I'll select the electronics filter, and you'll see that I have computers highlighted here, and you see right here this little round ball is a computer. I will go ahead and purchase that computer and set it down. It's an expensive computer, of course. I'm just going to show you this as an example and go back to the live mode. We'll go to the inventory tab, and I'll click on that little computer that I just purchased, and this is a futuristic laptop. And if you saw there, I had to click the more button after clicking on that little laptop, and you have the option to put it in the inventory. And now you see that the computer, or that little laptop ball, is in the inventory, and you can click on it inside the inventory and be able to do your writing wherever you are. And like I said, it's an expensive laptop, if you go back to the buy mode, I'll show you here. Electronics and the computers. Although this laptop is 5,000 simoleons, and that one's the same price as the little ball at 4,000 simoleons. And then you have the little cheap laptop here for 1,800 simoleons. But that's just something you could do, like if you go to a park somewhere, like if you want to go to it's summer in this world. I'll go to the map, and I'm going to scroll around here. Right here, this big tent, they've got a summer fest. Let's say you're out there and you don't really feel like going home or going to the library or finding a business or neighbor that has a computer. You can stay right there at the festival if you happen to be at the festival, and go to your inventory and work on your writing there. I'm going to click on Refine Writing Skill, and you can just do your writing at the festival. Or if you're at the beach fishing or swimming and want to take a break from swimming or fishing, you can just pop into your inventory and work on your writing right there at the beach or the lake or the park or wherever you happen to be, if you're not near a computer and you happen to have a laptop in your inventory. So I hope that all this information from this video has helped you out in some way, and I'm hoping that you'll be kind enough to hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you know when I upload new videos. I've got other videos on here for helping with your skills, and check out the links below in the video description to buy The Sims 3 for a computer, or the expansion packs, or the stuff packs. And I hope you keep looking for more Sims ideas and get help from all the videos that I put up. And I'll catch you with the next video. Until then, keep your Sims going and working on skills and other stuff like that.